pretty much every campaign that we run targeting HR starts in the same place, and that's with the CHRO or VP of HR's admin. So depending on the size of the organization, for smaller organizations, they may only have one VP of HR or a CHRO or chief people officer. And pretty much all the time, that person has an administrative assistant. In larger organizations, there can be multiple VPs of HR, but typically they still have administrative assistants as well. And it's this person's job to pretty much make sure you don't get to the VP of HR unless it's a very high priority. But what they are very willing to do is tell you who else in HR you should talk to about X, Y, or Z. And so when you're calling the VP of HR, it's really helpful to just call it out and say, look, I'm with a training company. We do X, Y, and Z. Is there someone in the HR department that you'd recommend that I speak with about leadership development? And almost always that person is going to refer you to someone else. So especially in organizations that are small and it's not obvious who owns what, this is one of the best strategies to gather information on who are all the key players. You can ask multiple questions to the VP of HR. Really, their key responsibility is making sure that the VP of HR doesn't have to take your meeting unless it's a very, very high priority. And so they'll always recommend you kind of lower and different places to go. So when you're building these campaigns, it's good just to have purely research calls. So you're calling into VPs of HRs, you're talking to the admins, and you're not asking, can I have a meeting with the VP of HR? Because most of the time the answer to that is no. What you're asking is, I'm calling about X, Y, and Z. Can you just tell me who you'd recommend that I speak with? And then after you have that information, you gather that person's email address and phone number from the admin. Then you can set up a campaign where you send an email. The subject line of the email is VP of HR's office. And then you can send a campaign that basically is pure referral. Hey, I was talking with so-and-so's admin. They recommended that you were the right person to talk to about X, Y, and Z. And then go into your pitch of what it is. Couple things. You're much more likely to get that email read because the first couple lines are talking about their internal office, their VP of HR, who is their boss. And basically what it's saying to them is the VP of HR said that you should be the person to talk to about this. Now, it doesn't mean that they're always going to give you a meeting immediately, but at least you have the right person to talk to, which is half the battle. So in most campaigns, this is where we start in HR, unless it's really obvious in a larger organization, for example, that you're selling to recruiting, you need to go to the director, VP of talent acquisition, you know who you need to go to, then this isn't as necessary. But setting up referral campaigns and call campaigns where you're only researching and getting information will work better than going just directly at those people trying to ask for meetings. So give it a try. It's something that we always do. These VPs of HRs, admins are so helpful, and everything that they do is to kind of keep you away from that VP of HR initially. So they typically give up contact information. They're willing to share kind of all of the insights of exactly what you're looking for. So give that a try the next time you're starting off a campaign into HR.